Oh my God! Look who's in the room. Jeremy, did you see who's in the room right there?
Yeah, I think I recognize him. I think so. It's been a
Handsome
minute.
dude.
Been a minute.
I mean, the more I look, the more I think I'm pretty sure I know who this guy is.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Welcome everyone to the Wash Pros Partycast. The podcast. I don't know. All I know is we having a lot of fun. We always have a lot of fun. It's like
I really like Partycast, dude.
I like Partycast. I think Partycast just fits the moment. You know?
Is this still called the worst podcast ever? Is that the phrase you still go by?
Yeah, because we haven't improved any. So yeah.
Yeah.
It may have gotten worse.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we're not doing that well with it.
I never hear anybody say, "Yo, man, where's the pod tonight?" No, they say, "Where's the party tonight?" You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So it's the party cast. It is the party cast. And we already have a bunch of people in the room tonight. 35 will double that number rather quickly, I'm quite sure. I'm going to give a few shout outs here while Jeremy, my man, starts sharing out a few places. Ryan Hostetler, good to see you. Steve McFall in the house. Josh Fields, missed you last night, Joshua. Nicholas Hudson, good to see you, my friend. Glad you're with us. Dwayne Smither, Bobby Linden, always nice to see his support. Speaking of support, there's Life Support One. It's like a Wednesday night regular right there. We love him. Tommy Bain, good to hear from you, see from you. Glad you're here, brother. Hope you've been doing well. John Shoemaker, we'll see you, Wednesday, I think? Wednesday? Can't wait. Justin Little, it's go time. It is go time. Michael, my man, 1912. Hello, my friend. Got a lot of guys in here, some that I don't see too often, but we're glad that you're here. Glue Deck. I'm going to call you Glue Decky. How about that, since there's an E at the end? Sean Garner, hope you and Leah are able to make it next week. Can't wait to see you guys. Cracking Pressure. Chris 6837, Bleach Sprayer. Man, it's just filling up. We're already up to 44. Glad you're here. Cody Smith, SNH Pressure Washing. The list just keeps going on. Christopher Henson. More and more coming. Patrick, glad you're with us tonight. Zach Thompson. See who else? I mean, I can just do this all night because the number just keeps climbing. Chris, glad you're here. Glad to Help LLC. Now, that's a name right there. See that name right there? Glad to Help LLC. Dude, are you a pressure washer? Window cleaner? What are you? I don't think we've had you in the room before. If we have, I apologize. I don't remember seeing that one. Tell us who you are.
He's glad to help. We're glad to have him.
Yeah, we're glad to receive his help. Heck yeah. It's Gary. Gary Ludek. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that's who you were. Glad I didn't even see that. Okay. All right. Enough of that. We have with us the legendary, what I coined, you'll remember I coined you as the scientist. Been thinking about it today.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he says it with such enthusiasm, like, yeah, I do. I kind of remember that one. You are. We're glad to have you. Good to have Gage Lake with us tonight with a lot of information. Going to drop some bombs on us tonight. We're going to have a great time. And Gage is the master of Facebook marketing. And he is also one of the sponsors of the upcoming Smoky Mountain Wash Retreat. Don't forget, that's this coming Thursday night. Sign in at 4:00, register, get all meet and greet. The next Thursday through Sunday, and it's going to be a great time in Gatlinburg. And Gage is one of the sponsors, and you'll see his logo all over the place because he's been so generous to us. You got Madden left right there. I love it.
Oh, he's got one of them fancy desks, I bet.
Guaranteed. He's got one of the fancy schmancies. I
You
like
gotta have a fancy desk, man. Sometimes you get tired of sitting.
Oh,
That's right.
for sure. We have those at work. And they
I thought
are
about getting
pretty
a
nice.
treadmill under the desk, to be honest.
I like it. I like
Are
it.
Are you familiar with Brandon Vaughn? I'm sure you are. I think.
What brand?
Do you know Brandon Vaughn?
I don't.
Okay, well, smart guy, near genius, I would say. He was one of the co-founder creators of Conquer, coaching group, and he's legendary. But Brandon went on a big health kick probably a couple years ago, and it started pretty much with treadmill disc. And the dude just went, from being a little fluffy to jacked. And he contributed to all the work that he was doing at the desk. He just got tired of sitting there in the chair, that he invested in the desk. It rises up, and then the treadmill, and the weight just started coming off of him because he was just doing all the same task he was doing at work. But now he was just kind of slowly walking while he was doing it. And the next thing you know, he's getting, 10, 15, 20,000 steps in, and just kind of totally transformed his health while he was doing it. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well. I mean, if you're working, might as well figure out a way you can exercise, I guess. When it's nice in the summer, I'm always on walks doing calls, but where I live, it's like very cold. So
You got a lot of snow up there right now?
no, it's cold and brown. There's no snow. We did get a ton of snow, but now it's all melted.
That stinks. If it's going to be cold, it needs to be snow.
Yeah, I'm kind of wanting to head to Florida right now.
Well, even Gatlinburg, I was looking at the forecast. We'll be there obviously next weekend, and even in Gatlinburg, you're looking at like really, really cold, high, like 19 degrees in the mornings. Not going to be a lot of fun, but it was cold last year, if you'll remember.
It was cold. You know what's crazy is like this last week it was like mid 60s and 70s there a few days. So I was like, maybe we'll catch one of those little heat waves, but not looking like it.
Not so much. Gage, why don't you do us a favor? Take just a moment. We know who you are, Jeremy and I do, but there are probably guys in the room, in the chat room tonight, who have no idea who Gage Lake is. And we're glad to introduce you to some guys. Here's one of the things that will catch us off guard sometimes when people like yourself, me, Jeremy, we're always on the internet. And then we discover that there are a ton of people who've never heard of us. And we get so excited because hey, like the runway is still long. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of runway left. 100%. So there's probably a lot of guys in here who've never heard of Gage Lake. Give us the more than the elevator speech of who Gage Lake is and what your business is all about.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. So I run a company called GML Media. We help basically pressure washing, standing Christmas light companies grow with Facebook. We even helped Jeremy, I think, a few years ago with ads as well. That benefited him quite a bit too. Mainly, we just focus on ads. Mainly, the goal is to get more leads, more sales for the clients. Pretty much just adding, whatever the client's goal is. Usually, for most clients, it's usually able to add anywhere from, $5K all the way up to, we have clients that we've made over $150,000 for in a month just from paid ads. So, that's pretty much the goal. I guess more about myself. I'm 22. I'm married. I've got a daughter. I'm a Christian. I live in Iowa. Was that enough?
Hey, I saw a post probably a month ago. I think you purchased some land. Is that right? You purchased some land, set up some target practice, and he's out there like full commando, man. He's like the dude out there on his property shooting up stuff. Is that right?
Yeah, we bought a property at the end of the last year, which was a huge goal of mine. It's funny because I had 5 goals at the beginning of the year, and all 4 of them we hit, and the one that I didn't hit was a business goal. And last year was more of like a laying low personal development kind of year, and that was one of the biggest goals was to acquire some land so we can build our property on it. And yeah, it just so happens to have a big play area for some fun toys. I'll put it that way. Yeah.
Hey, tell us the importance, if you would, tell us the importance of goal setting and what that looks like for you, because you at 22 years old have achieved what a lot of guys, even my own age, I'll be 55 next month. So I'm more than twice your age. And there are guys in the room who are older than myself who are looking at this generation. And this is not meant to be a slam on your generation. We're just observing. And there's this almost a fear for the future when we look at guys your age, but you're breaking that system. You're breaking that picture of what we have in our head. What does goal setting look like for you, and how have you been able to achieve so much at such a young age?
Yeah, good question. I mean, when it comes to goal setting, I'm not really one of those type of people where I'm like, new year, new goals. Let's set all these goals and let's fantasize over the goals. I mainly just like figure out the work side of it. Like, what do I really need to do? I kind of have to reverse engineer the goal. I mean, to be honest, like what helped me get to where I'm at today wasn't me really thinking of, oh, I'm going to have XYZ by 22. It was more so just like loving what I'm doing and then figuring out how I can help and serve people and also run a business that's profitable, and just like continue to scale it. I don't know if that's really the best answer, but like.
No, but for real, it's yeah, no, I don't know that I'm looking for an answer. I think that is the answer. And my group, we were doing a book study last night. And one of the things that we were discovering is exactly what you said there, like precisely what you said there was seeing the vision, deciding what our vision is, really dialing that in, and then reverse engineering that to say, what does it take to get there? And you are helping businesses do that in the pressure washing, Christmas light, stain space. And you're doing that. And I want to encourage some guys out there who are like, I don't know. I mean, like, is it like a magic pill? Is it like a magic bean? And I hire Gage Lake and everything just takes off. The fact of the matter is the work that they do on their end has to complement the work that you do. And one of those is just having a big vision for your business. Am I right about that?
Yeah. I mean, having the big vision, but also like doing the actual work. I mean, there's a lot of people that have big goals, but like either don't do the work or they don't do it correctly, or they know things that they need to invest in, but don't. So yeah, I mean, another big thing is like, if you've got big goals, like work with people that have achieved that or help people achieve it. Like there's business coaches out there, there's ad agencies out there. Obviously there's books, there's courses, everything. So it's like, if you want to scale to whatever level, I mean, learn from somebody that's done it.
Oh, wow.
Multiple times. So yeah.
Yeah, what do they say? Success leaves tracks and it leaves clues.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now you've worked with Jeremy. Jeremy, talk to me. What's been your experience working with Gage?
Dude, my experience with Gage, this was not this last season, but the season before we worked together. So 2024, I reached out. It was actually in the wintertime. I think it was in like December of 23, maybe early January, somewhere in that time frame. And we struck up a conversation, and man, I just had a really good feeling in my soul just from the initial conversation about everything. what was expected. I had a lot of good things going on for me with my videos and just kind of being used to doing videos for, YouTube and trying to make some content. But, so I had a lot of good organic things going, and with the guidance of Gage and some making some tweaks, wording some things some certain ways in some videos. I put together, I did what he asked me to do, and then I gave it to him, and him and his team, they just kind of took off with the material I gave and started doing the ads. And the ads were just, I felt like they were fire. I mean, had tons of messages, tons of business coming in. That year was our best year we ever had. And I have a lot of it to thank to him, because I think we ended up running ads for, I can't remember how many months it was. It was several months, but we ended up, I know for sure that it was over that course of that span for that wash season. And then we did them for like maybe a month or two in Christmas, maybe 6 weeks in Christmas. I did them with him. So I wasn't real sure on that, but it ended up working real good. I think we added about an additional 50,000 in sales based off his ads. So I had a great ROI working with him. So nothing but good things. And I told him, I said, hey, I want to be the local celebrity in my area. And that's exactly what we went and did.
Yeah.
So,
and you've got a small area too, so it's kind of easier to help you do it. But
yeah,
it was good still. Yeah.
So Josh Field says, I was too new to work with Gage, and he was honest with me about that. I wonder if that has changed. Now, just before that, 151 Softwash says, is it safe to say this isn't really for beginners? ? He says you kind of need to have a nice bankroll to even think about hiring someone like Gage and running ads, right? Jump in there, Gage.
Yeah, definitely. I see some other questions here too. I'll knock them out. So, so for beginners, I really want to recommend it. I usually tell people that you're probably going to spend a minimum of 2 to 3K a month to start with, just to get going. And that's with our fee and ads. And so obviously that piles up quick if you're new and you don't have consistent revenue coming in. Plus if you're new and you have capital, you have investing money that you're willing and able to use, that's fine. But even with beginners, it's usually, like, what I've noticed is that they're not the best at filming good content like we like. They're not the best at sales, and they're not the best at running a business. And so that's why I usually try to limit working with beginners. I don't work with beginners. It's usually like the lowest we'll ever take on a client is if they're making like 10K a month, unless if they're lower than that, like I just took on a guy today that was making an average of 5.5K a month. But like, that's very rare that I do that. He was just in a really good spot, and I think I could really help him. And he had cash saved up and ready to deploy. And he was really good at content. He just needed to fix a couple of things with his message, his angles, his content. But for the most part, he was a pretty good fit. But yeah, for the most time, we look for people that are already doing pretty well. And then out of curiosity, what would be a good budget to have if someone was going to use Gage? Yeah, 2 to 3K a month minimum, usually, and that covers ads and our fee. And you can go higher than that if you want. We've got some guys that spend 20 to 30,000 a month on ads. So.
Now, you said earlier, Gage, that it's important that they do the work as well. So it's not just a magic bean. It's not a magic pill or a magic potion. You don't wave a magic wand over their computer and all of a sudden they start picking up business. And then you come back and you tell us that you took on a guy his revenue was far less than what you, generally speaking, need in order to work with someone, but he had some of the other things that just made it right. And one of those things was that he was able to film content that you felt like you could work with. What do you think that looks like? So if there's somebody here who maybe is thinking about it, but like, man, I don't really know about the whole content thing. How does that help, and what are you looking for?
Yeah, great question. So really what I'm looking for if somebody comes to me, like there's a couple different things, and I'm going to get to the content here in a bit. Usually what I look for is obviously the person, like who is the person? Are they trustworthy? Do they've got good reviews of their business? Is it someone that I can relate to and that I think would be a good fit? Secondly is where are they at with numbers? Do they have a good average ticket? Do they have good services? Are they making good money? Are they able to run a business on their own and sustain it and grow it on their own? That's a lot of it. And then, yeah, in terms of content, that's super important. At the end of the day, the only reason why people are actually listening to the message that I'm telling you right now is because we're on YouTube creating content. So you have to create content in this new world. I mean, that's just how it's going. With anything, you should be creating content. And so I could go a lot more specific in terms of what content like we need from people. So to give some clarity, ideally you have some selfie video content. You're good on camera. You can show your face. You can talk to the camera. As long as you're good at that, that's all we really need from you. And then we have a whole content training thing in our program where we kind of warm you up and train you on what content to create, what to say. We sometimes even help you script it. Most of the time, if you're really trying to look professional, I'd recommend hiring a videographer, but it's not always needed. And then we take care of the editing side of every single ad. And then obviously everything that goes into the actual ads, like the targeting, everything from the campaign, the ad sets to the ads, the forms, the pixels, everything. So like all people really have to do is just get us content, which they should already be doing, sell the deals, and obviously do the job. And then we can pretty much take it from there. But yeah, so that makes sense.
It does.
Would you say it's more when you're speaking on? I guess you said something about hiring a videographer.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a difference you would say in like I don't want to say a low quality video, but more like an amateur than like a polished video?
I would recommend getting a videographer if you can. For example, we have some older clients that just quite frankly are terrible with holding a phone and can't create content. So I'm like, yes, please hire a videographer. Your content should speak to who you want to attract. So that obviously means good quality content, professional content. The more professional you look and the more, like, for example, if you're wanting to attract higher end homes, like have higher end homes in your ads, or use certain types of messaging to get people to like be attracted to working with you essentially. So an example could be like if you're, let's just say in Florida and you have a lot of homes by the water that you clean. In the ad, you could say, do you guys live in Florida by the water and your house is covered in bugs and cobwebs and mildew and algae? This is common in this area. Here's what we do to tackle it. That's a message that's the type of angle or messaging to speak to those type of people. But it's not 100% needed that you need a videographer, but it does help. And the cool thing about videographers is like a lot of these wash guys don't know how to film content. I mean, some of them do, but even if they're semi good with a camera, I would just rather hire a videographer. They can focus on the video aspect, the angles, the cuts, the transitions, and then all they have to focus on is just like the script and what we tell them to say. And then we edit everything together and do all that. But hopefully that was helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I want to touch on one thing you said is that if someone signs up for you, they're getting much more than just someone who's running an ad.
Yes.
I mean, and I don't think you talk about it enough is the training course that's inside of your program.
Yeah.
So when they sign up, I mean, there's several things in there, several videos. I mean, there's a lot of information inside of that is extremely helpful that that's a huge perk of it right there.
Yeah, I mean, in all serious, man, like there's a lot of other ad agencies out there. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of like Facebook ads that I've seen in the last month of people saying, "Hey, I'll run your Facebook ads," and I look into them more, and then it's like some guy talking about how he made $1,200 in 1 week from using this guy, and it's like, I'm not talking $1,200 in a year or in a week. I made somebody. I'm talking about how I made a client $300K or $600K. It's like, but anyways, there's a lot of other people out there that just set up ads I mean, you have to find somebody that you can actually trust and actually see real world results with and see examples, because there are people out there that just talk the talk and don't walk the walk.
Well, that's a great segue there. I wrote down here in my notes to mention just that. So you just walked right into that. You really set yourself apart, not just by the results, but by the work that you do on your end to make it possible. When you said there less than 5 minutes ago that you do training for them, you teach them, you coach them what to say, how to say, how to present themselves to the customer. All of these things matter. And in the end, it's that kind of effort that makes the difference. It's not just running ads, which leads to Ron Musgraves has about 12 good questions here. Not surprising. Ron says, do you administer the Meta account or your own account? Then he says, same with Google. So let's just kind of take these just a minute a piece, and we're going to answer some of Ron's questions. Do you administer the Meta account or your own?
Good question. So the client usually sets up a business manager and then creates that account. That's what we do with Jeremy. So they create the account, we get access to it, and we do all of our work inside that account. So yeah. Same with Google. We don't do Google ads. I don't know if that is what you meant, but if you were working with a Google ad agency, then they would do the same thing. Yeah.
And then the second question, he asked if you would to please explain what you believe. And then he kind of segues into the Pixel actually was, and maybe explain it to your audience so that they understand. I'm not exactly, that was a running sentence there. I think there was a period in there where there shouldn't have been, but I don't know if you can make sense of that or not.
Yeah, I understand it. Okay, so Pixel, pretty much all that means is, to give you a dumbed down example of like what this means. If you put a pixel on your website and people, let's just say 1,000 people go to your website, and all those 1,000 people have Facebook, you can, in theory, retarget all those 1,000 people. So let's just say you posted on Facebook in a community group about you doing exterior cleaning, and 1,000 people clicked on your website link. What you could do is you could use that data to retarget those same people for, to serve ads in front of their face again, to try to get them to commit to becoming a lead.
Very nice. And then finally, do you own all of the ads that you create, or are they your property? And I'm sorry, he says, do I own all of my ads, or do that you create, or are they your property?
Good question. So the raw footage is 100% the client's. Obviously, if you're working with us, we edit all the content, we manage all the ads, we launch them. So if a client says they want to sign off, for example, usually they have those ads in the ad account, but like all of our stuff we have to remove because you're no longer using us. So, to give you an example, that'd be like if Jeremy has an employee and that employee wanted to do something to hurt Jeremy's business and takes Jeremy's equipment and uses it to sell other jobs, right? So kind of give you an example, but yeah. So
no, thank you very much.
Yep.
Yeah, we're talking about setting yourself apart, and we're talking a lot here about the work that has to be done.
Yeah.
With the growing number of Facebook marketing guys out there, some doing amazing work. You seem to be the notorious, I I only use the word famous because it's tossed out there, but it's true. Like if there's a post on Facebook, who are you guys using for Facebook ads? There may be a few others sprinkled in the comments, but Gage Lake is the guy. What would you owe that to?
Could you say that again?
Yeah, so you are recognized in at least the pressure washing industry as the guy to go to.
Mm-hmm.
What would you owe that to?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like I'm intentional with all the clients we work with. I really want to help them grow, and that's kind of why we try to help them as much as we can on the back end side with content and sales and running the ads. And I just think that, if you look on my website and you look in the groups, it's all positive usually. There's maybe a couple people that I have pissed off over the years that I've been doing this, but for the most part, it's pretty good. But I just think I care about the clients. I want them to succeed, and I'm just trying to be an intentional person to work with. And I think people can see that. I think you can read through who's fake and who's real.
Yeah. How long have you been doing this?
This specific business or business in general and marketing?
Yeah, marketing altogether.
I guess you could say I started when I was 14 with my first business, and I learned a lot. I failed a lot in my first business, and that taught me a lot of things. But I started when I was 14. Now I'm 22, so 8 years. It's crazy how fast that goes. When I say 8 years, I'm like, holy crap, that's a lot longer than I would think. It feels like I've been doing it only for a few years, but yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hats off. Hats off. Yeah, very nice.
Guy says Gage Lake is the future of Facebook. He's the now of Facebook ads.
Yeah, he's the present.
So sometimes I kind of feel like a guru because people are saying all this good stuff about me, which it's great, but it's also I kind of feel like a guru in a sense.
Well, I appreciate your humility, and we know you well enough to know that you're authentic, you're genuine, you're real. We see it, and let's kind of drift somewhere, and I'm gonna kind of take it somewhere, and you tell me if you agree with me or not. It's okay to disagree with me, but I'm one of those that I believe that all social media accounts make a difference. So my personal Facebook account is very clean. It represents the brand, the personal brand that I want people to see in the pressure washing space, because I know that my customers are likely, and even more so likely as we move toward the future and move into the future, they're more than likely to look me up on Facebook. They want to see who's coming to their property. And so my business account is obviously business, and it hopes to generate business, but my personal account is clean as well. When I look at what you're doing in your personal life, it's as real as your business account, and it's very impressive. People really need to know that. Would you agree with me that that's important?
Very important. Very important. Again, it's if you don't post out there and you're running a business, it's no one knows who you are. Your content is the only form of communication for them to know who you are. Not just know who, Gage Lake is, but know him as a person, all the things. Yeah, it's so important.
Yeah. Don't talk politics like Ron. That's what he said.
Well, you should treat your personal page like a business page.
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah. A good, healthy mix of both.
Sure. Well, I often say that I see people posting on Facebook, and they tend to get a little too comfortable. I have in the past myself, but what I see is people posting ads just posts on Facebook. And I say, it's like, would you put that on a sign and put it in your front yard for all your neighbors to see? And the chances are you probably wouldn't do that, but we just get so casual with our posting that we forget that this is game changing. It really does set the tone for who you are as a person, and people take a hard look at that.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Somebody asked, do you recommend running ads on your personal page or business page? Business page, 100%. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I didn't even know you could run ads on your personal page.
You can't.
Oh, okay. That's like I didn't know that was a thing.
You can have a personal ad account, but you can't run ads off your personal profile.
Well, it's like, I just recently got the professional mode option.
Yeah.
I've never had it. Everyone's had it all these years, and they've been making money off their little reels and stuff and this and that. And I've never had it. Never had the option until the new year. And then I was like, okay, let's activate it. Let's just play with this and go with it and see how this goes over the course. Why not? And
yeah, the funny thing, I just also switched to professional mode. I didn't do it for the longest time because the main video on my profile, which is the VSL, I call it, virtual sales letter, that has like a ton of social proof on it.
Yeah.
When I switched to it before, it didn't have the views or any comments, and so I never switched because that was very important to me. But now I switched, and it's has all that. So, Evan says, do pics or videos perform better? Videos. You still want pictures out there, but the pictures shouldn't be before and afters unless they're like really good. They should mainly be like, for example, let's just say you have a dirty house behind you, and you can have a photographer, or you can just set your phone up and take a picture, or you can even take a selfie photo. If you've got a yard sign that says like house washing, just dumb it down, right? So if there's a house behind you, it's very dirty, just take a picture with the yard sign and a thumbs up and smile. It's like, that's going to do a lot more than a before and after would.
Okay.
So
Very nice.
just some ideas, but I mean, I know we've got like 20 minutes left. I mean, I know there's probably other questions people have, and I don't know, man. I made this training for our internal clients, but I mean, I'm not going to show it all, of course, but I mean, I think I could share a little bit of it.
Absolutely.
It's just perfect time to, I guess, talk about it. So,
Absolutely.
am I able to share my screen?
You should be able to. Does it give you the option at the bottom that says present or invite?
Yeah. So let me know if y'all can see the screen.
Now,
Mainly the audience is what I really need people to see.
there you go.
Okay.
Let me turn off these comments, that way they'll see it. There we go.
So this is a Google Doc that I made for some clients. And so when Mike, you gave me that name of the Facebook scientist, it's very true when you're running ads. People think it's just like, oh, I'm going to set up an ad. I'm going to pay some guy $200 to set up my ad. It's not, it doesn't work that way. If it worked that way, all the major companies in the world, like, they're not just setting up somebody to pay, like setting up ads once and then being done with it. So I really want to go deeper because I talk a lot about content you should film, but like there's different types of content that are going to do different things for your business. And ideally we have all of these filmed and ready to go for ads. And again, we help you with a lot of this. The ad itself is very important, but there's also a lot of back end stuff like targeting and your form and your ad copy and actual, like, just figuring out how things work. So there's a lot more to it other than content types and ads, but I figured I'd share this because it'll give people more clarity. So basically there's different content types. So example, these are all the types of contents that we want people to film. And so the first one could be a story ad. And so, for example, this is going to be a professional made video, who you are, why you started, your mission, and your team. People want to know who they're buying from, and you need to get more personal with your market. So this is important. So obviously this is going to build trust. So this one builds trust. Case study shows pretty much that you're out there and can do services, and you've got a good service for a lot of people's problems. So showing a job that you're working on, why they called you. So this would be like, hey guys, today I'm working on a house, or it'd be like, hey guys, it's Gage. Today I'm doing a house wash. This client, Sarah, called me out because her house is really dirty. So we're going to go ahead and wash this with our soft wash method, remove all this disgusting grime and algae, and make it look brand new. If you guys have a house that's really dirty, go ahead and call us. So something simple like that. Testimonial is kind of self-explanatory. This would be ideal if you're standing by whatever you just completed, whether it's, cleaning a driveway or whatever, right? Like take a picture with the customer or a video, and have them, say their experience. Educational is also very important. So obviously this is going to just educate people about your service. And also this is where probably most of your leads are going to come from, because you're educating them and then you're moving it straight into a call to action. So it's kind of like a case study one where you're saying, hey, today we're out doing this, but you go a little deeper into actually what you do and why you're different, and what other companies don't do that you do. And so one thing, to give you an example, is if you have like a warranty for house washing. I know some of our guys have warranties. For example, if they wash a house, they have a guarantee that it won't grow back within 24 months or 36 months. And if it does, you can come back out. They'll come back out and clean it. And I've got examples, by the way, for almost all of these and different content types in our back-end trainings for when clients sign up with us. Time-lapse is self-explanatory. It's basically a fast video of you doing work and then you put an audio over it. And I'll go into this one a little bit later, but this one's super easy. And then authority is talking about your reputation, why you're different. And you could also talk about, why customer service is so important to you, how many reviews you have, how many jobs you did last year. Just really, it's the social proof. So if I look at this, all these ads are going to be doing different things. And ideally you want all 6 of these ads out there doing, pretty much working for you. So authority obviously states your authority, shows that you know what you're doing and you've got an awesome business and you're serving people. It basically builds more trust. Story builds trust. Case study basically shows the value that you're providing. Testimonial builds trust. Educational builds trust and also shows why you're different and also shows the value. So the educational one is kind of like a 3-in-1. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay. So these are the different content types. So whenever I'm like, hey guys, film a video ad, there could be 6 different types of video ads that I want them to film. And I think like a lot of people get in over their head on like, oh my gosh, that sounds like a lot of work to do. As long as you've got a good looking camera and you can talk to the camera well, and if you think there's a possibility that you can do this, again, we try to make it as easy as for you as possible, but I'll tell you if you book in a call, I'll tell you if it's a good fit or not. I'm very picky with who we take on with this stuff because I needed to succeed, obviously. And so anyways, so that's the content types. There's different angles for what to say in your videos to attract different clients. So here's an example I'm going to give to you. I learned this back whenever I used to do like e-commerce a long time ago. So let's just say you are looking to buy a fanny pack or a carry bag, for example. It's one product, but it can be sold to different audiences. And so, for example, it can be sold to a mom wanting to carry just basic necessities for her baby instead of carrying a massive diaper bag. That's actually the reason why my wife bought hers. And then also I came up with this idea. It can be sold to a man that wants to carry a firearm in it. Sometimes I carry my SIG in it because I don't want to carry my gun. And then another reason it could be sold to people that work out or go on runs or go in the gym where they're running and they don't want to wear, they don't want to have their phone and stuff in their pockets. It could be, in a bag. So like I said, that's just an example, right? Like one product, but you can make it appeal to different audiences. And so that is what we're aiming to do here. And so basically a couple ideas that you've got is, for example, like HOA. So if people are getting targeted by HOAs or they're getting fined, that's a fantastic ad to make because it's very direct and to the point of who you're targeting. And like these people that are getting annoyed by the HOA could see a basic ad of you just doing a house wash, and your messaging is just like, hey, we're doing this type of job. And it's not direct to the point of targeting people that are getting annoyed by HOAs. And so if you target that, you know, they're going to feel like, oh my gosh, that ad is speaking to me. I need to reach out. Another one is like selling your home, or, you know, did you just buy a home and you moved in and you're wanting your house to get cleaned? This also could even help you build relationships with realtors. Another one down here would be a good one as well. So like the example I gave earlier, do you live on the water and you're getting a lot of cobwebs, bugs, and algae all over your home? Obviously, this is going to remind them to do a routine wash on their home, but also it's targeting nice homes. Anybody that lives on the direct water or very close to the water, that's usually going to be a nice home. So obviously, the message behind your ads make a huge difference. So because if you only position yourself with your ads as like, hey, I'm an exterior cleaning company, that's great, but like there's different ads that you need to have going after different things, right? Like all these different ads are for different purposes, right? Either to build trust, show value, or to have them know you more. And then when you get a layer deeper, you can film ads that are really like directed towards certain issues. And you can often commonly look at like, why do people really call you out to do the work, right? Like obviously they want the house washed, but like, why? Did they get bothered by their HOA? Are they having friends and family coming over? Are they selling their home? Or are they just a homeowner that hasn't had their home cleaned in a long time? And so all those 4 things you can make ads about, and it'll help improve how many leads you get and also people in those situations. So hopefully this wasn't rocket science, but hopefully this was helpful.
I think it was some great insight.
Yeah, because I'll tell you, I need things dumbed down, and call it what you will. You're the scientist. I get it. It makes sense to me. And these are things that most of us would not know if we didn't have someone like you teaching us how this works. There's so much more to running Facebook ads than what meets the eye. And Gage Lake, the Facebook scientist, is here to help us. So I'm grateful for the information.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome. I see somebody else, Glue Deck, asked a comment. One of the things I've heard from new customers is that they like to be given a price on the website, even though it's a wide range for each service. Should ads address price range at all? No, not at all. And you shouldn't even put that on your website.
Say that again for those who are in the back.
Yeah, I would not recommend putting your pricing on ads, and I also wouldn't recommend putting it on our website either. If people are interested in the service, they need to give you a call. You need to go out in person and need to actually sell them. They're not looking for a price. They're looking for somebody that they can know, like, and trust, and they feel good about to do the job.
And if they are looking for price, finish my sentence.
What's that?
If they are looking for price,
then you got to kick them to the curb.
That's exactly right. And Blue Deck, we found out just a few moments ago, is Gary Ludecki. I just didn't I didn't put that together. But yeah.
I thought he was glad to help.
No, it's a different guy. Glad to help here, though.
I can't even keep it straight at this point.
Good stuff. It's quality information right there. Yeah, because a lot of guys, just to kind of bounce off of that, a lot of guys they feel like if I can go ahead and put my price out there and people like the price and they're not even going to call anybody else. But what we're hearing from Gage is that those aren't your ideal customers. You want customers who want value. They want value. So they're looking for people who can offer value. The only way that they're ever going to discover that is if they speak to you in person and over the phone, and you can connect with them in that way. Good stuff. Josh Field says, a deal is a feeling, not a price. Ooh, I'm writing that one. Damn, come on, Josh. Jeepers creepers. We'll see Josh next week. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Josh Fields also put a comment. Actually, there's more things too. He said, I paid a guy who advertises on Facebook to run ads for me, and I was not impressed at all. All the leads seemed fake. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get that when you're running. I mean, I know when, Jeremy was working with us as well, we occasionally got that as well. It's just kind of part of it. I mean, there's things you can do to weed it out, but to an extent, you're always still going to kind of get those people. Obviously, you need more people that are good than more people that aren't, obviously. But yeah, a big reason to why that is like, I mean, it depends on what you're running. Like if you're running messages, like you're going to get more people misclicking. So run lead forms. Again, the content you create is the stuff that's going to speak to the ideal client. So if you create content that speaks to your ideal client, you're going to get more ideal clients. So for me on this podcast to say, hey, we don't work with beginners, that's going to help me not waste my time with beginners.
Yeah.
I have no disrespect towards beginners, but again, I'm just making that clear. Yeah. And then Evan said, what lead form works best? What lead form works best? Message, call, website, or leads? Yeah, good question. Commonly we use leads or messages. So it just depends on what the client is. Depends on what works best for the client. Some clients are running both for, some clients are just running one or the other. Kind of just got to see, but for the most part, leads is kind of where you'd probably won't be wanting. Messages, you would have to kind of finesse the system a little bit, but it's possible. Both work. It just depends on what's working better for you. So to give you an example, we have a client in Florida that I made a video on YouTube how we made him 300K from spending like 30K on ads. I think he's now closer to 600K just from our ads. And message ads seem to be the only thing that really work for him. In some weeks we have weeks where it's a lot of misclicks, some weeks where it's really good. And we've tried lead forms, and lead forms don't work well for him at all. And so he was actually just texting me, and he was saying, hey, because I touch base with clients usually every week or 2 weeks, depending on the client. And so he's like, I asked him, hey, what's going on? How have things been going? Because I've been also waiting to see back from some of his content. I told him to make some more content like the one like the stuff I was mentioning on this podcast. And he's still working on that. And so things have kind of gotten slower. And with how Facebook is now in 2026, you need a lot more content somewhat frequently. And so the more you're able to run more ads that are obviously good ads and frequently, switch things out, usually the better it is and the more up to date, and usually just works better. But yeah, you're going to have people that are like that. But I mean, it also depends like a little bit on your sales process too, because Facebook leads naturally are going to be people that are less eager to buy, right? Like Google ad lead, they're looking you up and they're almost ready to buy. Whereas with Facebook, they saw something about you. And so that's why you don't want to run discounts or incentives, because then that's just going to inspire people to reach out to you, and they're not good leads anyway. So that's another thing. We don't run any discounts on any ads. We don't want to make you look like a cheap guy or someone that does a cheap service. We want to position you as a very professional company. And that's why content matters a lot, because people need to see who you are and know, like, and trust you before they buy from you. And so the goal is to have a lot of your ads and content do that work that warms them up. That way, when they get to the sales process, they're a little bit more warmed up and ready to buy. But even with it, you're still going to know you have to know how to sell. You have to know how to ask questions. If someone's asking, hey, I just want to know a price, you have to know how to gently move around that and take control of the call and position yourself correctly on what questions you should ask them to really get their pain point or why they're calling or what's dirty. So I mean, I could go on and on about that, but
well, if you ain't got your sales script and your sales process dialed in, then you really you're not doing yourself any favors.
No, I mean, I always say like there's literally 3 check boxes that you need to have checked off if you're looking to spend money on ads and make a good ROI. The first one is obviously foundation. Do you have a service that people want? Do you have a good average ticket? Can you create content? Second is lead flow. Third is sales. So if your sales process is really good, but your content is terrible, you're going to have a hard time getting leads. And if your content's amazing, you're going to get leads. But if you're bad at sales, you're not going to make money. So all those 3 things need dialed in. And that's why we help with all those 3 things in the program. And we run the ads for the clients. So, yeah.
Very impressive.
Dude, I'm telling you, I don't know how many times I've recommended you over the last couple of years of knowing you. And just today, I had a guy text me today. He said, hey, I'm thinking about running ads. He said, I know you use Gage. Tell me about your experience. And I mean, I said, man, that's so wild. He's coming on the podcast. And I said, he's coming on the show tonight. If you can catch it, we're going to be interviewing him. I said, always recommend him. I have no bad things to say about him. Communication's key. It's great. And he wants to see you win because, you know, if you win, he's winning. You know, it's a win-win thing for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I know you genuinely care.
I do genuinely care. Yeah. I mean, last week I probably turned down like probably 3 people that said they're willing and able and excited to invest on the form that they fill out to book in the call. And again, you have to be willing and able to invest $2 to $3K a month. So they were ready to invest. And I'm like, you know, and Josh Fields, for example, too, it's like, he's in the comment section. It's like, I didn't take his money on that call. I didn't say, hey, here, pay me, I can help you. It was like, hey, I don't think we're in the right place right now for you to do this. I don't think it's going to be profitable for you. Yeah. I would recommend doing this, and this before, and then come to me when you have that done. So
are you listening to this, people? This is not typical. Like so often what we hear is, I'll take whoever can come my way. And by the way, we need to mimic in our pressure washing businesses what he is dishing out and exemplifying in his Facebook ads business. Not every person is for us. And you listen, we want to help everyone, but we can't help everyone. And there are times to say, that's not the best neighborhood for me, right? Like, I'm going to leave that to somebody else. But the integrity is there. And I will tell you, that's very impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll tell you another thing I like about it is, I know you're selective about who you work with, but you don't work, you know, if you've got a washer in an area, you know, you don't take on all these other washers in that area. Or
yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah. You're very seclusive on that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody signs on with us and we save that area for them. So, I mean, seriously, it's funny because I had a guy join us last year in, I think, Daytona Beach area in Florida. And then after I signed him, we were working and it went well. And then I got like probably 10 or 15 people, not even kidding you, asking if they could work with me in that area. And I'm like, I can't. So, but it's like normal agencies would be like, oh, that's like a ton of money. Let's capture it. Oh, you know, and then they create a bad name for themselves. So, so I always do one client per area, and usually per area, people always ask, like, is that a certain mile? Do you have a limit? Do you have certain county limits? Whatever. It just depends on the areas you're targeting with ads. So whatever makes sense for your budget. Like if you're wanting to block off like half of the state and you're spending $50 a day, like obviously that doesn't make sense. But if you've got a pretty good sized area or good city, I mean, yeah, we usually do one per area. And if a client ever reaches out and is like, hey, Gage, I really want to work with you. Could you ask your client or back up, I guess. If somebody reaches out and is like, hey, can I work with you? And I think there's a possibility that it would work well with just, you know, not only them, but another person, then I would ask the client first. For example, I had a call with a guy the other day, and he wanted to work with us. And he, at the end of the call, I was basically like, "Hey, I need to ask my other client if he'd be fine with you coming in." And I'm like, to be honest, it's a big enough market. I think you guys can both be profitable. And I mean, with what you guys are going to be spending, it's going to take years for you guys to run through that audience anyway. So I think it's fine. And then I talked with the client, and he's like, "Yeah, that's totally fine. Go for it. You can let him in." So
But it's like no one else is going to do that. It's almost like you're getting permission from the guy you're already working with, just because of how serious you take that, and no one else does that.
mhm. Yeah,
So I mean, exactly, the integrity it's there, it's real, it's there.
yeah.
It's a rare commodity. You're 100% correct.
Yeah.
Well, we have reached the top of the hour. That doesn't mean we have to jump off immediately. I want to give Gage an opportunity to really express himself. Tell us a little bit more about yourself. How can we find you? How can people discover you? How can they get a hold of you? And maybe your closing argument, my friend
Yeah.
Gage.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna share my screen again if that's cool with you guys.
Please do.
Here, 1 second.
Listen to the scientist. He's typing away back there.
Okay, so if you could see my screen, so obviously you said, "Hey, tell people more about you." So if you guys want to work with us, you can go ahead and go to my website. It's gmlmedia.com. You can also look me up on Facebook. My name is Gage Lake. You can look through my content. Shoot, you don't even have to work with me right now. Just shoot me a friend request, listen to what I've got to say, see who I am, and if it matches up with what you want to do with your business, then let's work together. If not, then totally cool. But I just thought I'd share my website. That way you guys know. If you guys also are familiar with David James, David Mormon, HSBC, I've got a video with him. We're partnered with them as well. And so I try to partner with only the best people in the space that I know. There's multiple countless case studies. Nikki P, I mean, we helped him go from 110 to 190 a month. We made him almost 160K in just 2 to 3 months. This client, Danny, this review is pretty dated, but I've got a testimonial from him on my Facebook page of, I think, how he made him 69,000 in, I think, a 4-month span, 4 or 5 month span. I've also got a video right here that explains like how we do everything and how the program works. I've got countless case studies here. I've got YouTube videos diving in, Jeremy's testimonial, Todd's testimonial, how we made client 300K. Again, countless. I mean, I could just keep on scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Last year, we made clients 3.7 million just from ads. In total, we've probably made close to 10 million at this point for clients just from ads. So again, I'm still going in terms of case studies. But yeah, if there's a possibility, I mean, that you would like to look in to see how Facebook would work for your business and see if it would be a good avenue to grow, I would just say follow my content, book in a call. And again, when you book in a call, it's going to ask you some questions. So it's going to ask you some questions, and just go ahead and find some time on my calendar, and you'll run through some questions, kind of tell me more about your business, who you are, if you're able to invest. And then again, if it makes sense and you're in a good spot for us to help you, then I'll make you an offer to join. The program is invite only, by the way. So it's not like I'm just going to shoot an invoice over to you over Messenger and you pay it and you're good to go. We need to have a call and figure out if we can help. And I also just want to work with people that I enjoy working with, to be honest. I mean, I've had people that book in this thing and they have a high monthly revenue and they're just like super cocky, and like, I honestly just want to get off the phone with them immediately. But so I want to know who I'm working with, and I want people long term. I want people that do what we say and do what we tell them to do in terms of content and sales. I also need people that think long term. This can't be a thing where you're just like, hey, I'm going to try this out. I mean, obviously you have to try everything out, but like you need to give it time. You need to put, time, money, and energy into it. You need to kind of treat it like you have a couple $100,000 that you're putting into the stock market, and you want to do a safe, long-term investment kind of. Obviously, this is technically more risky than an index fund, but you get what I'm saying. So, anyways, that's where to find me. Website's GMO Media, and my name is Gage Lake on Facebook. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
So awesome.
So glad to have you on that, man. I feel like you've delivered tons of value, and I really think, based off the comments, everyone's finding great value. And I hope that if someone's wanting to do ads and if they're serious about wanting to do them, and I hope they reach out to you, and I hope it's a good fit. And if it's not a good fit, at least they'll know it, and you'll be honest about it with them. And if they didn't take anything away from that, hopefully they can take away, that you're a man of great integrity, and that says a lot.
Yeah. Thank you.
Dude, I'm thankful once again to have you as our platinum sponsor for the event next week. Someone asked if he was coming to Tennessee. He's welcome to come to Tennessee if he wants to get out of that cold climate, which I don't think it's going to be any better in Tennessee. It might be a little bit warmer, but
yeah, I'm not planning on it, but I wish everybody the best who goes there. But yeah, I'm not planning on it.
Well, we definitely need to have you on more often. Once a year just isn't going to cut it. We need to make it a point to have you come on regularly and dish out, because technology changes. We need to know how to update these things. So someone just said something here. I've got to point this out. This loser right here, Jason Alexander, he said, "Careful, Freshie, your old is showing." You're not wrong about that, but I will tell you, I coach my guys all the time. You have to move with technology. I heard somebody say recently, they said AI will not cause you, or will not take your job. AI will not take your job. It's the people who know AI that are going to take your job. And so I deal with people all the time, and they'll want to pay, and they'll, I'm talking about pressure washing guys will pay for materials for marketing materials. And they'll say, "No, I don't give Venmo. I don't take Venmo, Cash App, Apple Pay." I'm like, you really got to get with the times. And I don't mean that arrogantly. I don't like it any more than anybody else does. And as he said, my old is showing. But I will tell you, you really have to keep up with what's going on. And if you can't, you got to know some people who can. Engage is one of those people. So we're super grateful, man. Super grateful.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me. It was fun.
I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, I know. So I think people definitely got some value. The funny thing is like before this call, I came out to my office. My wife was like, "Is there a plan for today's call?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm talking Facebook ads, but other than that, I don't really know what I'm going to say." And it's funny because it just happens.
She didn't know you was coming on the worst podcast ever, and there's never really a plan.
She's honestly probably watching me inside on the TV right now. I told her to watch the podcast on the TV,
and she's utterly impressed. Utterly impressed.
Yes, her handsome husband is delivering value.
There you go. That's exactly right. And say that if she won't say it, you got to say it yourself. Well, we do typically take things as they come, and it always seems to work out. So we not only thank Gage Lake for being here, but all of our viewers, everyone in the party room tonight, thank you so much. Jeremy, it's his turn to pray for us as we hit the eject button. Don't forget, next Wednesday, it's up in the air if we're going to have a podcast or not. Really just depends on how things are going there in Tennessee. But any final words, Jeremy?
I don't have any. Looking forward to seeing each and every one of you that are going to be there next week. We will be there a day early if you want to show up a day early and powwow and see what we're into. We may grab a burger or something, but I'm looking forward to it.
Fantastic.
She said she was watching. She just commented.
Yeah.
Classic. That's good stuff. Good stuff.
All right. Well, are we ready to close in prayer?
Please.
All right. Heavenly Father, Lord God, we thank you for this opportunity to gather tonight, Lord. Give you praise for that opportunity. And Lord, we just ask that you will lead, guide, and direct us on this path of life, Lord. Be a lamp to our footsteps, Lord. Allow us to go out into this world and make a difference and be an impact on someone throughout our daily journey, Lord. I pray for each and everyone on here tonight, Lord, that they will be safe while they're working. I pray, Lord, that they will do things that honor you, Lord, and be people of integrity. Lord, we just give you thanks for our brother Gage and the value that he's delivered tonight, Lord, and that this could impact someone's life, their future, their business, Lord, if they'll just take actionable steps and implement the things that they have learned. We can learn everything that we need to learn, but if we don't do anything about it, it doesn't do us any good, Lord. So I want to thank you for that. Most importantly, Father, I thank you for your son, Jesus, and that he saved a sinner like me, Lord. And I give you thanks and praise for that more than anything in my life. Be with us through the week. Lead us, guide us, direct us, and pray. Amen.
Yeah.
All right, guys. It's been fun. Catch y'all later.
God bless you all. Bye-bye.